Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Daniels.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Alive.
Okay.
Alive and not sick.
I'm
Alright.
here and I'm in one piece. Does that count?
All right. Today is 2 Chronicles, lesson 2, talking about Judah's kings. All right. Yeah. That's what it is. Cool. Can I get a volunteer to open us in prayer? Anna, go ahead.
Dear Lord, thank you that we came here today to learn more about you, and I pray that we pay attention and listen to what Daniel has prepared today, and he is love
Amen. All right, so we are in 2 Chronicles, like I said, and I think everybody remembers how 1 Chronicles went. Genealogy, then talked about David's kingdom, then a transition from David into Solomon. Solomon built the temple, everything was amazing, and then Solomon died and the kingdom went to his son, and that's where we picked up for today. So today we looked at several of Judah's kings, not all of them. Part of this last 2/3 of this book is divided thematically, but also part of it is just I didn't want you guys to read 25 chapters and then 5 chapters.
Thank you.
So you'll continue reading about more of Judah's kings. Actually, I think there's more kings this coming week than there were this week, but that's okay because thematically, I'm looking at this. Yeah, there's more this coming week in sheer number of kings, but thematically, it is talking more about rebellion and exile and hope. Okay, so as you're reading this coming week, keep those 3 words and those 3 themes in your mind: rebellion, exile, and hope. Okay? Cool. Yep, rebellions are built on hope. Not in this case. It's the other way. Alright? So, how did the reading go for everybody? Chapters 10 through 24. Alright? Let's get into it. So we are in 2 Chronicles 10 through 24. We're going to do something a little bit different today. Rather than summarizing everything all together, we're going to do some group work, comparing and contrasting. Okay? Because all of these kings that we read about this week have already been talked about, right? So, what we're going to do is I'm going to break you into some groups in just a little bit. It might not be the couches that you're sitting on. In fact, it won't be. But I'm going to break you into groups, and I would very strongly suggest that you pick one person to take the notes, and that person should draw a Venn diagram. Does everybody know how Venn diagrams work?
Yeah.
Two circles. What? Venn diagram. Venn. V-E-N-N. Venn diagram. That is what this is. So you draw something like this. Probably put the kings both in Chronicles like above the chart, whatever. But one circle, you write down the things that happened just in the king's recording of that king. The other side, you write down the things that just happened in Chronicles recording. In the middle, you write down the things that happened in both. Probably make sure that they overlap enough that the both section is nice and big. Because
It's definitely like this, guys, where you have to write it B-O-T-H.
oh yeah, absolutely. Probably don't do that. It doesn't have to be exactly a Venn diagram. You can do a column for one, a column for the other, and a middle column for both. However you want to do it, so that you can see these are the 3 different aspects. Things that only happened in Kings, things that only happened in Chronicles, things that happen in both. Keeping in mind that there should be a lot of overlap here. Okay? It's not quite that the Venn diagram is a circle, but is pretty close. Okay. All right. Are there any questions about that much?
No.
Okay. These are the kings and how many chapters they are and where to find them. Group 1.
Okay.
Rehoboam.
So,
What you got?
it's basically word for word, but what happened is like Rehoboam is like about Rehoboam was like about to become king. So, and it's like stuff like that, and then there's a bunch of like prophets and stuff that are like confronting him, and there's like prophecies against him. And then also, in 1 Kings chapter 13, that's like not in the Second Chronicles section, like at all.
Basically the whole chapter.
Yeah, basically the whole chapter. And a lot of that chapter has to do with Jeroboam. So,
Who is Rehoboam?
He is.
The king that was assigned to you.
Oh, he's the son of.
What? The last king.
Who was the last king?
What's his name?
Starts with an S.
Saul. No, not
Ends with
Saul.
an almond.
Solomon.
Yeah.
Ends with an
Yeah.
So-
He was gonna become king after Solomon died.
Yeah. So this is the first of the kings after Solomon, his son. And what was similar and what was different about how he set up his kingdom? Because there's something, like that's kind of what causes the split here. Like we know, according to God, what caused the split was Solomon's lack of faithfulness. But politically something happened here that caused a split. Remember that?
There was a revolt against him.
Why?
because he's
Why did he suck? I agree, but why?
Because he was human, he sinned.
People
Okay.
died.
He did. What's the specific?
You didn't get that far.
It's in the first chapter, so you.
Oh.
Okay.
You brought the
Yeah.
Who did he listen to?
His people came to him and said, "Hey, we were like overworked building the temple for your dad. Can we have a break?"
Oh yeah, and then he was like, okay, yeah, you can have a break or whatever. Wait, no.
Is that-
he
I
said
think it was
no,
another guy.
work harder.
Yeah,
He said
yeah.
no, work
There
harder.
we go.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what Shannon was about to say. He just
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, she was ready.
He consulted with his counselors, and there's kind of the older people and the younger people, and the older, wiser people said, "Yeah, give them a break. They've been working really hard." And the young people were like, "No, they're gonna think you're weak. Be stronger." And yeah, establish your dominance, and that's what he went with. And then the people were like, "No," and sided with this political rival with a very similar name,
Stoned a guy.
Jeroboam. What?
And stoned the head taskmaster guy.
Yeah, yeah. There's just a whole rebellion, and that's politically where the kingdom split. And then Jeroboam was the first king of Israel. Cool. Anything else to share? No. Okay. Great. Cool. All right. Group 2, Abijah, also called Abijam.
Abijah, yes. He's called Abijah in Second Chronicles, but Abijah in First Kings. So that was a little confusing. But
Same
it
guy,
was okay.
different spelling.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like Daniel or Danny. Are we talking about the same guy? Maybe.
Nickname version.
Don't call him Danny though. Please.
How about
Go ahead.
Daniel or Daniels?
Okay. So in the Second Chronicles one,
Mm-hmm.
it's more highlighting like the good stuff he did. Like he went to war with Israel and he relied on the Lord and therefore had victory. And then in First Kings, it's kind of just a paragraph where it says like he did this bad in the eyes of the Lord and he reigned for 3 years. It says that in both. In the Second Chronicles though, it. Oh wait, no. No. Okay, in Second Chronicles, he gets like a whole chapter where it's like a summary. Because Second Chronicles, it's more focusing on the good, like overview of what the kings of Judah did, versus the Kings. It's each king gets a paragraph.
It's
They
like,
did, yeah, and it's not really highlighting the good or the bad. It's just here's what happened.
yeah,
Um,
it's a good point.
so
It's kind of just saying either they did what was right or they did what was evil,
yeah.
and not really giving a ton of details for the most part in the king's account. Whereas in Chronicles, it tells us more of what they did, but doesn't give it quite as much black and white. Like I tried to do the same, like color coordinating when I read through this section of, you know, if it says they did what was evil, I would highlight red. If it said they did what was right, I would highlight in green. And I only got like 2 of the kings that it specifically said that they were labeled as doing what was right or evil. Otherwise, it's like they did some good things, they did some bad things.
Couldn't you make like a brown?
Hmm?
Couldn't you make like a brown?
Yeah, you highlight it in both and just highlighting it in brown. Yep, that's kind of weird.
Well, you could do like, you could like take the word and like do half red, half. Oh, I like that.
All right,
I like that.
continuing
Oh,
on
maximum
with
power.
Abijah.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
Okay. I like that you pointed out that in Chronicles it says that he relied on God
Yeah.
to defeat their enemies.
Mhm.
That's something that I noted multiple different times with the different kings in Chronicles. It does say he relied on God, or God won this battle for him, things like that, where it didn't really say that in the Book of Kings. It was just,
Yeah,
he did this, he did this.
In Kings, it was more just he did this, it was bad. And whereas in Chronicles, it's kind of an overview of like the good kings. It just leaves out the bad kings.
And it sometimes shows how the bad kings, because Abijah is listed in Kings as doing what was evil.
Yeah.
And yet here it shows that even the evil kings sometimes relied on God.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of cool. God's intervention is referenced more in Chronicles than in Kings. I thought
That
was
just
really-
shows how he doesn't ignore anyone. If they rely on him, he's going to show up, even if they've done wrong. Even if they're credited in history as being evil, he still has his hand in their history.
And it also shows that the chronicler was, like, the reason he was writing this book is to show, you know, this is the line of the Savior. And, you know, even though history might record these kings as being evil and, you know, for lack of a better term, God-forsaken, even the evil kings, God had a hand in what was going on and would help them. Because it's the line of the Savior. Alright, very cool. Alright, next group, Asa.
Okay, so it starts off with Abijah dying, and then Asa kind of takes control. It's like he's not like anointed or anything.
He's what?
Not like anointed or anything.
Okay.
It like it just says he like takes control.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. But
And that often happens because it's a hereditary monarchy. So in other words, the son doesn't need to be anointed specially. It's just the son is the next one in line, and that's just how it's understood.
Isn't hereditary like something that has to do with like biology and like genes or whatever?
Yeah.
It's
like
something
it has-
that
it's like
that
a-
you inherit from your parents, which a lot of
Hereditary.
times is like,
Inherent.
you know, your hair or eye color, it's hereditary. But in this case, you're inheriting the throne. Not a biological thing, but you're still inheriting it from your ancestors based on your biology, your relation to it. Okay, continue. I was just clarifying that for you.
so we didn't get a lot that was in just Kings because we realized like Chronicles really overall just had a whole lot more detail and it had everything Kings had and
Is-
more.
Is
which-
Asa one of them that is just like a single paragraph? Kings.
Pretty much.
I mean,
Maybe 2 paragraphs, but
he
yeah.
has at least 2. Yeah.
2 very long
Okay,
paragraphs.
He didn't dance
A partial
twice.
Yeah. Partial
Twice.
chapter.
He didn't dance twice. So like he had a partial chapter in Kings, and then he had like 3 chapters in Chronicles, which is like that also half shows that like Chronicles just had more details, but like things that we only saw in Chronicles was Asa building fortified cities,
Okay.
and then it had the prophet tells Asa that like there was gonna be like wars for a long time because he like took the gold and silver in the temple or whatever. It didn't mention that in Kings.
Yeah, no mention of a prophet.
Yeah.
And with they both talk about him taking his mom out of the queen role, took her out of power.
Yeah.
And also it mentioned him and Vasha. How do you say that again?
Yeah.
Vasha.
And who is that?
King of Israel.
Yep. King of
Yeah.
Israel.
It mentioned them being at war for a while, and then it mentions Asa's foot disease.
His what?
His foot disease.
Oh yeah, foot disease.
Broke his athlete's foot.
Yeah.
Fungus.
I mean,
But yeah, I got one. That's most of what we got.
I couldn't help but think of severe diabetes, and a lot of times it'll affect the feet, and you
Oh
have to
god,
have
and
your
they
feet
swell
amputated.
really
Oh
bad.
wow.
But again, that's my like
Feet.
familial context, because my grandpa was a double amputee from diabetes.
I can just like imagine
Interesting.
That's crazy.
the
Because it could have also
gloves
it could have
that
been
you blow it
any.
up.
He could
It's
have
a
had
fucking speed,
diabetes.
like medical gloves that are blown up.
Ew.
Like Lord of the Rings stuff.
So Jacob, when Asa had this foot disease, did he rely on God to heal him?
No, he relied on doctors and physicians.
Yeah. It's interesting, at the beginning of his section, he is referred to, he's one of the few kings that is referred to as right or evil directly. He's referred to as having done good in the eyes of the Lord. And then at the end, it's like, because you relied on the king of Syria to win this battle, and now because he did not seek the Lord in his illness, then it was kind of a decline. And by the end, he's kind of tainted with this, you know, he was good and then he wasn't good, and it ends with him kind of walking away from God and relying on his own strength and resources physically.
It mentions in the Chronicles version, it mentions that after the prophet told him that, he went into a rage and threw the guy in prison, and that was basically the turnaround point where he's kind of just walked away from God.
Yeah.
After he was told that he screwed up.
Yeah. Very good. All right. Next group, you have Jehoshaphat.
Hold on. I have a bet if I can keep this on my face while I talk, I get time. Hold on. 1 second. No, wait. Pause. Wait. I got it. Okay, so Jehoshaphat. This is like the both, okay?
Okay.
Jehoshaphat had fought war, okay, and then allied with the king of Israel, and then false prophets, and then died. And like, but he didn't want to die, so he was like disguised, or like he disguised himself, and then he was like shot. And then in Kings, he just like died. He just died. And then, but in Second Chronicles, he has like a longer story than just dying. So like, yeah.
So in Second Chronicles, Jehu is like, you should not have allied with the evil king, and he was like, oh, my bad. And then he like repents basically, and then he like turns back to God and he prays, and then they all like worship, and God delivers Judah and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's another one that it says that he cried out and the Lord helped him. Whereas in Kings, it didn't mention that. And in Chronicles, he's in the middle of a battle like allied with the evil king of Israel in this battle against their enemies, and he's like getting shot at and whatever, and it says he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord bows and arrows.
Oh, Hunger Games, got it.
Yeah. But it says he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord saved him, and that specifically said that in Chronicles. Cool. All right. Very good. Anything else? All right. Jehoram and Ahaziah.
Okay, so in for Jehoram in 2 Kings, it didn't have a lot to go off of him. It was just that he reigned when he was 32, and he did what was
Wait, the
evil.
guy who he reigned, okay, I'm king, and my dad's also king, but I'm not 100% king. Oh, my dad died. He's with his fathers. Now I'm 100% king. That's what I'm
200% king.
now I'm number 1 king. I'm not back.
It just told him that he lived and then he died.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Like, it's very short, like 2
Was
paragraphs
that
probably.
the guy who only reigned 7 days or something?
He reigned for 8 years.
And
2 of
I
those
think that
years
was
he
one
was
of the
sick.
kings of Israel.
Israel. But in 2 Chronicles 21, it said that he reigned when he, I think, he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. And then, let's see, I think.
Did he have a honorable death or not?
No.
How did he die?
Okay, so.
And did people miss him?
Okay, hold on.
Very briefly.
So.
Say it.
The Lord struck him with disease for 2 years, and then he died.
What?
And struck him with disease in the bowels.
Mhm.
With disease, and he was diseased for 2 years, and when he died, the fathers before him, the people would light fires, but they didn't. And then they'll normally bury him in his, the father's tomb or whatnot, but they didn't bury him in the father's tomb, they just buried them somewhere in the
He was an evil king. God cursed him. He pooped himself to death. And then the people were like, "We're not gonna bury you with any sort of honors."
So more of
And it says, he departed to no one's regret.
Yeah.
Nobody missed him. They're like,
That's
good,
awesome.
he's dead.
Good riddance.
All right, tell me one sentence about Ahaziah, because then we have to move.
Okay, well, he was 22 when he reigned. He did what was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and he went to some place because he was sick.
He
Yeah.
moved up to death. Wait, was that the other one?
That was the other one.
And that chapter starts off with him he slept with his fathers. I'm like, you get to take a double take on that because it's
Yeah, that
why are you
just means
telling me he died?
He died.
And when we're talking about.
All right. Last group, briefly tell me about Athaliah and Joash, Jehoram.
Okay, so the thing that happened in both Kings and Chronicles is that Athena reigned in Judah, and then she tried to kill off every one of the heirs so that she would reign. But then someone helped Joash, and then Joash became king, and Athena was killed. And the mention of her getting killed is in both Kings and Chronicles, but the details of her death is only in 2 Chronicles. And then Joash repairs the temple, which is in both. And then Jehoiada turns the people back from turns people to the Lord again, and that's in both Kings and Chronicles. And then Joash is killed because he did something wrong, and it's mentioned in both 2 Kings and 2 Chronicles, but the details of it is only in 2 Chronicles.
Yeah, in the Kings, it just said Joash was treacherous, or it says that there was a conspiracy against him because of his treachery. Doesn't say why. Doesn't say what he did wrong. It just said some of his servants conspired against him because of something he did and killed him. And then in 2 Chronicles, it says he betrayed the son of the man who raised him. The high priest Jehoiada raised him, brought him up in a good way, and when he died, his son basically prophesied against Joash, and Joash was like, "You're dead now." And the people were like, "Whoa, what just happened? Where did this come from?" And some of his servants conspired and assassinated him.
He was only good.
That's nice.
He was only good.
Like, we knew about that from Kings, but we didn't know why. In Kings, it's like, oh, the servants are the bad guys. They assassinated this good king who rebuilt or who repaired the temple. And here it's like, oh no, he messed up and got what was coming to him. He was punished for his treachery. All right, very good. Whew, that was a whirlwind. Good job, guys. All right, that was our discussion for today.
Oh, that was so tiring. My brain is so fried.
I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then we'll be dismissed. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for giving us your word so that we can dig and study and learn more about you and about your people. And I just thank you. In this particular case, we have multiple different perspectives of the same events, and that we can see how the same events can be seen in different ways. Because there's different points of view, there's different details based on what you're looking at, and I just thank you that that's recorded, and that is also reflected in the Gospels, and that we have multiple different accounts of the love that you have for us, that was so much that you sent your Son, God in flesh, to do so many things that if we were to record all of it, there's not enough books in the world to record everything that he did, because you love us so much. So just thank you that is reflected here in Kings and Chronicles, that we can see how your love is foreshadowed and foretold in that. Thank you for everything that you've given to us. Thank you for loving us so much. In Jesus' name, amen.